Let's begin. It's the win. Listen, laugh, and learn and understand. Hope, believe that you can. It's the Women's Information Network. It's the win.
Welcome to the Win Show. We're so glad you joined us. I'm Paula Fellingham, CEO of the Women's Information Network, thewinonline.com. We're the online home for all women, all ages, a community of women helping women. Our hosts are Heather Anderson. She's the runner-up for Miss USA. Laura Lee Christensen is the Executive Vice President of the WIN. And Kim Coles is an actress, a comedian, and a speaker. Our guest today is Rhonda Hamilton. She's a success speaker, an author, and a communication skills expert. She champions others to live a bigger life. She energizes people and organizations to shift their thinking and implement success strategies that lead to more in life, both personally and professionally. Her show is Success Bites for a Bigger Life. Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here today.
Now, apparently, you're an expert at helping us break through mindset limitations. And how do we do that, and what does it do when we do get there? That's a lot of questions. Yeah. Let's talk about the mindset limitations first.
Okay, I think the first step in breaking through these limiting mindsets is to identify what the barriers are. We have to establish what are those walls. I call it a mind box. We have walls that are built that basically trap us in this mind box. So we have to establish what is it? What are those walls built of? For many women, it could be their self-esteem. It could be their own perceptions that limit them. It can be their programming from when they were a child or their environment. But basically, many times it's fear of the unknown. So for us to be able to break through those walls and get beyond the fear of the unknown, then what we have to do is we have to first visualize what it's going to look like when we are able to break through those walls. And then from there we can do some mind exercises to be able to break down those limiting walls and move beyond.
So I know you say that for each person there's a really personal formula. Now, are there general tips that are kind of universal, or how personal is it?
Yes, there are some general tips that are universal, but the reason that it's personal is because it's unique to each individual. So we basically have to start with what I call a core analysis. We're going to do a self-evaluation where we actually do some in-depth study of ourselves so that we can know more of who we are. We want to find out what our core values are, our value system. We also need to find out exactly what it is that we want. To do that, I think that sometimes we have to begin with the end in mind and work backwards. And then once we've established those core values and what it is that we really want out of life, we have to also find out where our strengths are, what are our challenges, our weaknesses. And then we put together this formula that's unique to each and every person that they can use to develop the mindset for attraction, that they can use to develop the other skills that are necessary to be able to find that place of more in their life.
So you'll guide in your show. You'll guide them through this whole process. I mean, that's a pretty in-depth process that you just described. That's not something you just sit down and do in 10 minutes.
No, we're going to have to take it one step at a time.
One of the first things you said was to have the women identify what it is, have great clarity about what do you want, what is it that you want. How do you help them do that?
Well, we go through a process actually where we start talking about what is it that's most important to them. And when you begin with the end in mind, that actually helps clarify. Because sometimes we're so focused on what we're doing today that we fail to think about where we really want to be. What do we want to accomplish in this life while we're here? What is our purpose? Why are we really here? What is it that we really want to do? What do we need to do? And so we help women establish those things. When they're very clear about who they are and about what it is that they're meant to do, then they have more of this alignment in their life, and they're able to then put those practices in place to be able to move forward.
I love this because I'm thinking as a future mother, if I can do this, then I can give this to my children as they grow up. I think of myself. I was the first girl to ever play Little League football for my conference. There were 500 boys and me. And I was 10. I
Did you
watched
say
my brother.
500 boys?
I was the only girl.
The only girl. Good
Well, I had all
grief.
these brothers playing Little League football,
Yeah,
and
I
then
can
my
imagine.
mother had me cheering for them, and I thought, nobody's watching me as a cheerleader. I want to play. And luckily I
love
had
it. I wanna
parents
play.
who applied this, and when I
Yeah.
said I want to play football, they said, don't you want to have your ears pierced? And I said, no, I want to play football.
And she went on to
And so I
be-
went
yeah.
on and played football with all the boys and tackle. It was great.
wonderful,
But
yeah.
I'm thinking of this as a mother, and you can say, anything you want to do, you go for it, and you try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have something very specific that you call, I'm going to try to do it now.
Okay.
Successions.
Yes.
I did it. Tell us all about succession.
It's a great term.
So you didn't have
Well,
to
thank you. That's sort of the term I coined that is about suggestions for success.
Oh, this is
things that we
great.
can do. And so one suggestion that I could give you today would be to surround yourself with positive people.
That's a good one.
I believe that we are, that basically the people in our lives either charge our batteries or they drain them.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
And the people who drain our batteries, they bring us down, they pull us down, they make us unproductive. It's like a big weight that just continually keeps us down. And so what we want to do is we want to find those people who charge our batteries, because those people are the people who build us up. They support us. They motivate us. They inspire us. And when we have those people surrounding us, then we can do great things.
And that's what the win is all about, of course.
Yes.
This is women helping women. And when you're in the company of women who are supportive and caring and loving, it makes all the difference in the world. I know.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you say to these women who are going, but my husband is the man who's draining me? Obviously, they don't want to leave that situation. How do you get someone who's a drainer to maybe be someone who helps charge your battery?
Well, that's a whole other issue.
Let's talk about.
Actually, of course, we have people in our lives that drain our batteries, and
we can't
we
get
can't
rid of them.
get rid of them.
Well, what's a tip
We don't want to.
What's a tip to overcome that? What would you say if a gal says, I can't get past where I am because I've got these people blocking my way? What would be a suggestion?
I say divorce him, but I shouldn't say that. That's what I did. That's
No.
Okay, that's not the answer?
No, I don't think so.
sometimes.
I think
does
it's
for some
actually to
people.
demonstrate the love that they need. Because many times people who are drainers are people who actually need the most love from anyone else. And I think that we can demonstrate to them the characteristics that they need to have. And with time, and it takes a long time sometimes, but with time, those things can begin to shift because they begin to see.
Let me ask one other thing. I know for a lot of women, they kind of know where they want to go. They have a vision, but it's either a self-esteem issue or maybe even shyness.
Yes.
You know, putting themselves forward. What advice would you have for?
Oh, this one's near and dear to my heart,
good.
actually, because as a young girl, I was very, very shy. And, you know, so many women suffer with or struggle with self-esteem. Basically, a quick tip that I would give would be to focus on being interested rather than interesting. So many times we are worried about our own inadequacies, which of course fuels our shyness or our self-esteem issues. And when we can take the focus away from us, from our own inadequacies, and we can focus on the other person. You know, statistics show that more than 80% of people actually would classify themselves as shy or somewhat shy in a new networking experience.
Really?
That's a
Yes.
very high percentage.
So when you go into a networking experience, you can look around, and that means 8 out of 10 people are probably feeling what you are.
So be interested, and that's another succession.
Interested.
That's a great
I almost
idea.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, another succession.
There you go.
I like that.
Thank you so much
great-
for
Oh,
being
thank you,
with
Paula.
us. We love this.
It's been
And
wonderful.
Very,
Thank
very
you so
Your
much.
show is going to
Thank
be
you.
fabulous. You've
Yes.
got
Thank
so
you.
much
Excited
to
to watch
offer.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we invite everyone to go to thewinonline.com, where you're always going to get solutions, share your own ideas, and really connect with women worldwide. Now let's live joyfully with passion and purpose. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later.
It's the Women's Information Network. It's the win.